Hi there, my name is Jane Smith, and I work with Gina Esposito. We are archaeologists on the Tongass National Forest and would like to share with you some of our recording and education techniques. This is a photo of Gina and I at the Sandy Beach Petroglyphs over 20 years ago.
Hi, this is Gina. So what is a petroglyph? A petroglyph is a design that is pecked or ground into the rock surface and is one of two types of rock art found in Southeast Alaska. The second type are pictographs, which are designs that are painted on the rock with pigments made from natural ingredients.
We'd like to show you a couple techniques we use to share information about rock art. One is a brochure available at the Ranger District, and it reaches a wide audience. The other is a method we were introduced to in the early 2000s. It's called stippling, and it's a much more fun and hands-on experience that records the rock art without causing damage to the resource. You place a piece of clear plastic over the images and use Sharpies to gently mark the pecked indentations.
This slide shows the actual petroglyph on the left, covered with the plastic, but before being stippled. The stippling leaves you with a life-size drawing that can be copied and printed later, as shown on the right. The images are more accurate than a freehand drawing, and sometimes you capture more from feeling and stippling than you would with your eyes alone.
This method has been great for documenting petroglyphs for publication. At this site, we captured the many glyphs on this large rock art panel. We mapped the location of each image, reduced the Xerox copy to scale, and added them to our report. This technique has become so handy, we now use it to record all of our rock art sites. You can see with this comparison how difficult it can be to get a good photograph versus how much detail is captured using the stippling technique. We like to call this helmet head and crab.
Another method for recording petroglyphs is through enhanced photography. Using a photographer's reflective disc, an umbrella, and the sun, we can angle the disc just so to shoot the sunlight across the rock surface. This can make washed out designs really pop into view.
Back in 2007, we were tasked with providing opportunities for our local Youth Conservation Corps. We decided to use our recording technique for educational purposes at a local petroglyph site on Mitkoff Island. Here you can see what looks to be like a hummingbird and maybe a duck. We packed up our gear, which included our simple recording materials, and hiked to this petroglyph site, which faces Frederick Sound. Our high school YCCers were blown away by the site and really enjoyed our task at hand. We had to hurry because the tide was coming in, and it covers the petroglyphs at high tide.
In 2020, we wanted to share this activity with the Cake Alaska Youth Stewards, formerly known as the Cake YCC, who were working for the Forest Service for the summer. We decided we would show them the stippling technique to record grave markers at Grave Island, an important cemetery across from Cake. This slide shows a very interesting gravestone that Jane had noticed when she helped map Grave Island for the Cake community in 2001. But then COVID happened, and we had to come up with a new idea for our summer plans. Instead of abandoning the project altogether, we decided we could film ourselves using this technique and share it with the Cake Youth Stewards and their leader, Audrey Clavijo. Using iMovie, we tasked Jane's niece, Jet Wade, and her husband, Kyle Paz, to film us recording a local petroglyph at Sandy Beach in Petersburg. My 13-year-old daughter, Samara Olson, helped me edit the movie into a 9-minute tutorial. The dogs were there as morale boosters. These are stills from our film taken while recording. The series starts with Jane pointing out the faces that were carved so long ago by the pre-contact Tlingit onto a bedrock outcrop at Sandy Beach. Then there's one of me actually doing the stippling of the face that we selected, all the while explaining what to do and how to look and feel your way through the process. And finally, there I am showing off the results. After watching our video and meeting with us over Zoom, The Cake Youth Stewards and Audrey took it from there. On a couple sunny days during the summer, they set out to help dig a grave for a local elder who had passed and also reinforce some trails for the community at Grave Island. While tending to these ancestors' resting place, they took the time to record some grave markers that were meaningful to them. Here are Courtney James and Bree Travica using the recording techniques from our video tutorial. Courtney is recording the grave marker of her grandmother Emily, and Bree is recording those of her grandmother Josephine and her grandfather, last name Thomas. They were then able to bring the images home to their families as a keepsake. It was fun from our end to see them engaging in a new archaeological activity that was also connecting them with something meaningful in their own lives. Before we conclude, we thought we'd talk a little more about pictographs. Pictographs were painted with pigments made by mixing grease or fish eggs with red ochre or charcoal. Like petroglyphs, these ancient rock art sites are sensitive to natural or human-caused deterioration or even vandalism. We always stress to the public to help us be caretakers of such important and intriguing sites.
This is a pictograph panel, which is a painting as opposed to a carving. A kayaker found this on the back channel near Wrangell. It's hard to make out from a boat, and people have been passing this site for decades without noticing it. You can see a little bit of red towards the bottom of the rock face. Here's the panel after I ran the photo through a program called ImageJ and a plugin called DStretch. It provides contrast options and is made specifically for rock art. You can now clearly see the face, and below the face is a canoe with people in it. To give you a sense of scale, the canoe is over 6 feet long.
We are happy with how the culmination of our work recording rock art has improved our professional reporting as well as our public education and outreach. We are particularly proud to have remained connected with our youth partners in Cake last summer, even if we had to think outside the box and do it virtually. Thank you for your interest in our project.